Imagine feeling completely lost. No matter how hard you try, nothing seems to work. You pray, you work, you struggle, but life keeps pushing you down. Have you ever felt that way? You're not alone. There was a man who felt the same, but his situation was far worse. He was trapped in absolute darkness, alone, helpless, with no way out. But what he did next changed everything. And if you're struggling today, his story might just change your life too. Picture the vast, endless ocean at night. The waves rise like mountains, crashing with deafening roar. The wind howls and the sky is an endless stretch of black. There is no shore, no sign of life, only the sound of water swallowing everything in its path. Now, imagine being thrown into that ocean. The icy water grips your body, pulling you down. You fight to stay afloat, gasping for air. But before you can even process what's happening, something even more terrifying occurs. You are swallowed whole by a massive whale. This is exactly what happened to Prophet Yunus, as, trapped inside the belly of the whale, he couldn't see anything. No sunlight, no moonlight, just pitch black darkness. The only sound was the deep, echoing groans of the massive creature that had engulfed him. The weight of the ocean pressed down from above, and the ribbed walls of the whale enclosed him from all sides. Can you imagine the fear, the helplessness, the feeling of absolute isolation? At that moment, Prophet Yunus could have given up. He could have lost all hope. But he did something incredible instead. He turned back to Allah. Because here's the truth, even in the deepest darkness when the world has shut you out, Allah is still near. Yunus understood that. And instead of panicking, instead of drowning in despair, he humbled himself before his Creator. What happens next is where the lesson begins, a lesson that could change your life too. In that moment of complete helplessness, Prophet Yunus didn't scream for help from people. There was no one around, no one could hear him. But Allah could. Instead of drowning in despair, he turned his pain into a prayer. He uttered a powerful, life-changing dua, open book La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu mina salimin. Surah Al-Anbiya 21:87. There is no God but you. Glory be to you. Indeed, I have been of the wrongdoers. This dua was not just words. It was a deep confession, a recognition of Allah's greatness and a plea for mercy. He acknowledged Allah's oneness. La ilaha illa anta, there is no God but you, O Allah. No one else can save me. He glorified Allah's perfection. Subhanaka, you are far beyond any imperfection. You make no mistakes. There is wisdom in everything you do. He admitted his own shortcomings. Inni kuntu mina zalimin, I was wrong. I left my people too soon. I made a mistake and I turned back to you. In that moment, with complete humility and sincerity, Allah heard him. This was a dua made inside the belly of a whale, deep in the ocean, in complete darkness, yet it reached the highest heavens. And what happened next? Allah responded. This dua was so powerful that Allah not only saved Prophet Yunus but he made this a timeless prayer, a dua that can save anyone who calls upon him with sincerity. And that includes you. No matter how lost you feel, no matter how deep in trouble you are, if you sincerely turn to Allah, He will hear you, because His mercy has no limits. The moment Prophet Yunus sincerely called upon Allah, something incredible happened. The entire universe responded to his prayer. The angels, the creatures of the sea, even the whale itself, all bore witness to his cry for help. And in His infinite mercy, Allah answered, open book, so we responded to Him and saved him from distress. And thus do we save the believers. Surah Al-Anbiya 21:88. Look at these words carefully. We responded to him. Allah didn't delay. He didn't ignore him. The moment Yunus turned back with a sincere heart, Allah accepted him. And then comes the most powerful part. Thus do we save the believers. This isn't just a story from the past. This is a divine promise. Allah is telling you that if you turn to Him, if you call upon Him with sincerity, He will save you too. No matter how dark your situation is, no matter how trapped you feel, He can rescue you just like He rescued Yunus. And so by Allah's command, the whale rose to the surface and spit Prophet Yunus onto the shore, safe, forgiven, and given another chance. What does this mean for you? It means that Allah's mercy is always near. It means that no situation is beyond His power. It means that your prayer can change everything if you truly believe. So now the question is, will you turn to Him today? Now, let's take a step back from Prophet Yunus' story and reflect on your own life. Think about the moments where you felt completely lost, when everything seemed to be going wrong. Maybe it's a job you've been trying so hard to get, but rejection after rejection keeps coming. Maybe it's a personal struggle, a broken relationship, or a mistake from the past that weighs on your heart. Maybe, despite praying and trying your best, you still feel like you're stuck. This feeling of being trapped, of wanting an escape but seeing no way out, is something everyone experiences at some point in life. And when it happens, it can feel as if you're drowning with no one to save you. But here's the truth. Allah's help is always near. Prophet Yunus was in a situation where every logical escape was impossible. He was alone, swallowed by a massive creature deep in the ocean. There was no humanly possible way for him to survive. Yet he turned to the only one who could help him, Allah. And what did Allah do? He responded. He saved him. And here's the most important part. Allah says that this isn't just Yunus' story. It's a promise for every believer. Open book, and thus do we save the believers. Surah Al-Anbiya 21:88. Allah is telling you that if you call upon Him, He will respond. If you trust Him, even in your darkest moment, He will open a way for you. But the key is to sincerely turn back to Him, not just in words, but with your heart. Prophet Yunus didn't just say a dua, he meant every word. He acknowledged his mistake, he humbled himself, and he fully placed his trust in Allah. So the question is, are you ready to do the same? No matter what hardship you're facing, you are never too far gone. Allah's mercy is bigger than your mistakes. His power is greater than your struggles. All He asks is that you turn back to Him. And the moment you do, your life will change, just like it did for Prophet Yunus. Right now, wherever you are, take a deep breath and say this dua with sincerity. Open book. Feel the weight of these words. This is not just a dua from the past. This is your lifeline today. Whatever hardship you're facing, whatever burden you're carrying, know that Allah hears you. Just like He heard Yunus from the depths of the ocean, He hears you from wherever you are. And just like He rescued Yunus, He can rescue you too. But here's the thing, this message is not just for you. Someone else out there needs to hear this. Someone in your family, a friend, or even a stranger might be struggling in silence, feeling lost and hopeless. Be the reason they find hope today. Share this video with someone who needs it. Let's remind each other that Allah's mercy is always near. And if you want more reminders that will strengthen your faith and bring you closer to Allah, subscribe now and turn on notifications. Because sometimes one verse, one dua, and a reminder can change a life. Will yours be the next?